Sometimes you just need to encourage yourself in the Lord, and right now I can use some serious encouragement. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. One of the things I think is so important in life is to review what God has spoken. We have to keep His word before us so that we can remember His promises to us and His direction to us and His heart for us. Lucky for me, I have a YouTube channel where I frequently share what God's speaking to me, sometimes through Bible study, sometimes through just whatever God has spoken to me. And I'm able to review what God has spoken to me by just reviewing my own videos. So that's what I'm going to do today. Today, I'm going to take a look at some of the things that the Lord has spoken to me and use them to encourage myself. So come along with me. Okay, let's get right into it. Especially from the standpoint of rituals and customs. You have to remember, especially when you're talking about the Old Testament, that a lot of the things that happened were things that they did every day because it was like a ritual, and it was things that God had instructed them to do because He was teaching them how to be set apart from the pagans, from everyone else. He was teaching them how to know what it means to be in the world, but not of the world, right? So there was a lot of things that they did out of ritual because God instructed them to do it, because He was trying to teach them that if you are going to walk with me, you're going to have to get really comfortable with doing things that no one else is doing, right? And so because He gave them all of those rituals, it was so easy for people to know that they were Jewish because they just were like aliens when it was comparing to everyone else. The things that they did, the way that they carried themselves, it was so different from everyone else. And so it was like a precursor to, okay, when you become a believer in the New Testament, this is what your life is going to be like. You're going to have to get really comfortable with people judging you and calling you names and things because of the way you live and the way that you think, and that you're not willing to just go along with just anything. So you got to get familiar with that, and you got to get comfortable with that. So a while ago, I did a Bible study series on the blessing. At the time, the Lord was having me go over that because He kept speaking that word to my spirit. And so that was a clip from the Bible study series that I did on that. But reviewing that clip just really reminded me of the fact that we have to be set apart. God, the journey that I've been going on with the property management company and the things that the Lord has been telling me to do and how they just haven't made any sense to me. And so that word just really encouraged me and reminded me that following God doesn't make sense. You have to expect to sometimes feel like you're crazy, to feel like the things that He's speaking to you and telling you to do just don't make any sense. And so it's not abnormal to feel like, an alien, to feel like what you're doing and the way you're living your life is so different from everyone else. And so sometimes you can forget that, we are in this world, but not of it. Sometimes you can forget that, just like with the children of Israel, we are meant to be set apart, and we are meant to live our lives in a way that the world can't understand. And sometimes we can't even understand. So it's comforting to just hear the word from the Lord to remind me that I'm on the right track, that I may feel crazy, but I'm not crazy, that I am obeying Him. And sometimes that means that you look a little weird and you feel a little weird, but that doesn't mean that you're not hearing God. What about you guys? Is there anything that the Lord's been speaking to you where you feel like you're crazy, where you feel like, you're an alien, you feel like the children of Israel, like you do things so completely different than everyone else that everybody's looking at you like you're crazy? Is there anything like that in your life that God's been speaking to you? Priestly blessing. It is the highest form of benediction a person can receive. It bestows on a person the honor of experiencing God's presence, His care, and His favor. So blessing is being spoken over the priest, basically saying, I have bestowed upon you the honor of being one of the few people that can go into the presence of God, right? And so this is important because we now have those same rights. We are kings and priests, right? As a result of what Jesus has done. And so He's saying, I'm blessing you with the honor and the privilege of coming into my presence anytime you want. Right? So that is so important, because if you know anything about the presence of God, it's not just He's there. His presence comes with power and benefits that you cannot get anywhere else.
right?
That is such a serious encouragement. I'm telling you to just be reminded that we can go into the presence of God anytime we want to. We can take our frustrations to Him, we can get further direction from Him, and we can just sit in His presence and just allow Him to love on us and to speak to us and to just have us forget what we're dealing with in the natural and forget, our frustrations and our setbacks and things like that. And so just to be reminded that, hey, take some time to go into the presence of God and to go speak with Him and meet with Him and just commune with Him so that you're not so discouraged, so you're not always staring at your problems, so that you can take a break from what you're dealing with. So that is just so incredibly encouraging. So I would just encourage you that if you are dealing with something that is frustrating you, or that, a mountain that you've been trying to move and you're just kind of like waiting on it to move and you're just frustrated, and, if you've just got challenges in your life, don't forget about the presence of God. Don't forget about communing with Him. It's not just, say a quick prayer here and say a quick prayer there, and you don't have to have, this huge ritual of, I got to have everything quiet. I got to go in my prayer closet. Just remember that He's there and that His presence follows you, and that you can just, take a deep breath and say, Father, I just want to be in your presence. I want to hear from you. I want to be able to see things from your eyes and to be able to hear what you're saying and to just, see my situation differently, see what you're seeing, because that can make a huge difference. It can be a huge perspective shift. So that was just a little encouragement that I got from going back and looking at some of my older videos and just reviewing that Bible study. If you missed that Bible study and you would like to go back and watch it, you certainly can click this video and go back and watch the series. If you would like to have a little bit of more of a deep dive and to have the Bible study notes and just have some tips for studying the Bible, that video series is the basis for this course. And so you can certainly click the link in the description and get a copy of that course. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you guys like this video format and if you like me going back and kind of looking at some of the older videos and getting some encouragement. This is something that I do anyway in my own time. So I just thought, okay, I'll just share this one with you guys. So let me know if you like this format and we can do more of them. In the meantime, God bless you and your journey to freedom.